Using black eyeliner, or in this case I used a black paint crayon, outline the shape of Jack's eyes. I used a picture of Jack as a reference point while doing this just to make sure I had the shape right. But in general, you want to make sure that you have a bit of a point towards the inside of your eyes by the nose, a larger, more circular swoop along the bottom, and an almost concave swoop towards the top with a very rounded edge at the very tip by your temples. The next step is adding the white. Now, in this tutorial, which is about 2 years old at this point, I had not started experimenting with just blocking out my eyebrows. So I was just going over with a very, very thick application of the white grease paint, and that actually worked pretty well, especially since later in the tutorial I do add expressions onto his eyes, which worked very well with the brows, and really I didn't need to block them out for this look, but that's why I'm spending so much time here on just covering those up. Then you want to trace out the outside of Jack's face. Make sure you go a little bit below the hairline because we are going to be actually finishing this out around the face with black, but make a very rounded top and continue that along the sides of your face, trying to make this as circular as you possibly can. Then just fill it in with white. And once you finish the white, you can go ahead and fill in Jack's eyes. Once you have finished the eyes, we want to do Jack's mouth. Using a smaller brush, take the same grease paint and draw a line from the corner of your mouth, curving upwards towards your ear in a big smile. For Jack's teeth, start in the center of your lips and mark out evenly on both the top and bottom where you want the center mark to be. Then just work your way out to the sides of Jack's smile. Once you finish the teeth, then do Jack's nostrils. Jack has two very slit-like nostrils, so paint around the edges of your own and then drag the top part up towards the tip to make them as long and skinny as you possibly can. Now we're going to do some shading. This is going to make the smile and some other elements on the face look a little bit more three-dimensional. Taking a black or gray eyeshadow powder, just drag that along the top of the tooth on the bottom underneath the line, and that's going to give it a little bit of a shadowed appearance. Here's the eyebrow shading I mentioned earlier in the video. Jack's face doesn't necessarily have eyebrows, but he does have lines for expression when he does move and change the shape of his face. Following a reference photo of Jack, I basically used that same gray eyeshadow to make a line above my eye along my existing eyebrow, and then made sure to give a little bit of extra curl towards the center. I also just went over and added a little bit more white before finishing off the eyebrows. And on the inside, I went with kind of an angry expression. Overall, I felt that that worked best with the look I was trying to achieve. After finishing the eyebrows, I took the small brush that I used on the lips and used it to bring Jack's eyes up a little bit closer towards the center of my nose, making them just a little more pointy. Then take the white brush again and begin building out Jack's trachea or spine neck. And I was a bit nerdy here. I actually decided to make mine a little bit wider or thicker than you might want to. And honestly, that's just because I wanted to make sure that it looked like it could actually support the white face I had created. Depending on how much of your chest will be visible, you can also add your collarbones and even ribs if you like. Going back to the black grease paint, now we want to outline Jack's entire face with the black, including down along the spine and any ribs if you've drawn them. You might need to go into your hairline a little bit. No worries, this does wash out. Once I'd finished tracing, I then went in with a larger brush to bring the black grease paint all over my neck and shoulders as far back as going to be visible in your costume. While you could certainly finish with the blacking out of your shoulders, I got distracted at this point and decided to go in and actually create the vertebra in the spine. To do this, I actually used the powder again instead of the grease paint. I just took the powder and would go a little bit darker on each side, and then with just the powder left on the brush, join the two lines. And that's it. That is Jack Skellington. Now, you could even black out your ears and use a black hairspray to black out your hair as well. And if you would like to see how I made the full out costume for this, the link will be in the description below.